Go away, rain. What if anyone's awake? Was anyone gone to bed? What shenanigans have been going on at the bottom of YouTube? I've come to visit, to peek in through the dark curtain. What's been happening? Have the irrelevant been made relevant? Probably not. Nat King Cole had a great song for some of the people down the bottom here. You might remember it as Unforgettable. But it's a warm night. Rain. Didn't brew up into a big storm, but some very threatening clouds and bits and pieces coming in, but ended up just being drizzle, which is okay. I don't know if my text is working. I'll say Gday. See if that works. Yep, looks like it works. Never know with this new format. Wasn't going to buy anything today because we've got food, but I saw these beef spare ribs again, so we had beef spare ribs, roasted vegetables and gravy, but I didn't film it. I'm not seeing a lot of hangouts actually, but maybe it's because of the change. Maybe a lot of people are still working it out. Hello, Scarlett. I really can't read my screen too well, so do forgive me. Hans Jorat Larsen. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. Larsen is the name of the Australian base in Antarctica. And it's a shelf. Glacier. Larsen's Glacier. What have you been up to, Scarlett? Anything exciting? Hello, Diane. Mr. Seeds is coming out, which he's doing stuff. Hannah, hello. You're here for the shenanigans. Well, we could make stuff up. I'm not very good at making stuff up. Scarlett's got a 4-foot nose. Spread it around. No, I'm not very good at this. No, Scarlett hasn't got a 4-foot nose. People love that stuff, don't they? You know, he said, she said, I'm going to attack somebody. Still finishing on the redecorating. You or me? So what are you redecorating, Scarlett? I've missed it. Six foot long, fair enough. There we go. We'll run with that one now. We went down and did something really unexciting for most people, but we picked handles for our new kitchen and paid it off. So we've definitely got the kitchen coming. Looking forward to that, actually have a new kitchen. Kitchen is sort of, for me, always has been. I mean, I love cooking, don't get me wrong, but the kitchen's always been the centre of a house for me, for nearly all my life. When I was a child, we'd go around to uncles, aunties, grandmothers, and everyone would gather in the kitchen. Most big kitchens had like a kitchen table, and everyone gathered and had cups of tea. I peeled wallpaper, painted, primed, moved furniture, did it all. The entire downstairs. By yourself? Right, whoever's with you, I want them dismissed. It's always good to get a hand. We've got lots of painting coming up and sanding of the old windows to bring back the timber lustre. There's lots of work, but I won't be doing it all by myself. My wife will chip in. She'll get in there. She'll get covered in paint every day, but I'll buy her a set of goggles. Yeah, a lot of people, it's easier nearly to build something new than it is to refurbish, because you've got extra work to do when you refurbish, either removing, taking back paint, putting in undercoats, filling in putty holes, blah blah blah. Whereas a new building is a bit easier. Yeah, the dogs usually look at you as if to say, can you put that paintbrush down? I am hungry. What are you thinking? I actually went to the shop today when I got these big spare ribs. Couldn't help myself. And an old lady was sitting on a bench outside, and she had a miniature dachshund. It was so cute. Purebred. Someone looking like podcast. I don't know, I'm just going with Streamlabs on my mobile. But this dachshund was so cute. I did ask her, I said, curiosity's got the better of me. What did you pay for it? She said, just $2,500. Dogs are very expensive here. Yeah, putting paint on their tails could be an idea, but you might end up with a Dali or something a bit different, or just one level of the wall being painted. You know how dogs go up and down the wall to scratch their back? I always found that funny as a kid, dogs going up and down, up and down. Mind you, as I get older and I can't reach the middle of my back anymore, I do a bit of a scratch against the wall every now and then. Nothing worse than having an itch you can't scratch. It's annoying. But there's loads of work when what you're doing, Scarlett. I mean, even now, you say it's finished, but you've probably got a few ideas left in here, like curtains or furniture. Yeah, I remember seeing that video. It made me laugh. The bear scratch up and down, scratching his bum and his back. Yeah, a lot of people have said it's pretty good. The bit rate is, the frames per second is 30 to 33. Don't really know what that means. But the quality says 720. But the iPhone's always been fairly good as far as taking a picture. Like at the moment it's got a bit blurry on my chicken. Sometimes when I do that it'll fix it up. What I can't do on this, I'll try again. Yeah, I can't zoom. I can't zoom in on anything while I'm filming. Yeah, new rugs. The thing when you change a room, you sometimes think, well, curtains have got to go. Knick-knacks and paddywhacks, and in your case, doodads. That's true. You do. You get the. I'm going to see if I can do this now. Not very good at this. Let's try that. There we go. Starting to crows. I did it without deleting the video. That's what I do sometimes. But like I say, I know I harp on about it, but I don't like going to those rooms where people just want to fight. I can stand up for myself. Don't get me wrong. It just seems like a lot of wasted energy. I mean, most people will never meet each other. We've met quite a few YouTubers. You won't meet a lot of people. So if someone upsets you, it's not as if it's going to drift into your real world unless you let it. And I always said there's no such thing as a troll. Block, gone. Even if they talk in a room and you're there, you can't see it. And what you can't see can't hurt you. Yeah, it's like you get channels that either discuss things and then it sometimes gets out of hand, which can happen in real life, But then you've got rooms that have things go out of hand all the time. It's like that's what the room's all about. Seeds profile me. Lululemon, 25 to 30, 5'4" to 5'7", 130 to 140 pounds, green eyes. Anything else? Oh, here comes the boss. Yeah, you can only care about things that affect you. You shouldn't be careless. In other words, you should show some empathy. Eyes are blue, so are mine. But I find that people take it in so deep, the hurt. Hence they call it butt hurt, but it's not real hurt. You just block them and they're gone. They can't say anything to you anymore. So people that say they have trouble, oh, here we go. See that? That's a warning. That's a sign. It's coming. Boom, 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 boom. She'll come out the door going, seeds, I am not your father. Yeah, I still learn. I often don't say anything, but I'll listen to somebody and think, oh, I'll put that in my little memory file. MB Raz, 2 inches tall, cute, smiles a lot, loves life, and enjoys every moment of what we have got left. It's an easy one to profile. Well, she's not really 2 inches tall, but when I look on the screen, she's only about that big. It's okay to have a difference of opinion. It's okay to disagree. You just have to agree to disagree. And if a subject matter will always bring that up, don't bring up the subject matter. Hello, Mel. Mrs. Seeds will be here in a moment. But life's great. Hello, Jez. If you just get out, we always try and do something. We're sort of tied home at the moment because of what's happening with the extensions. But when that's done or nearly done, we'll be off travelling again. Got to travel, got to see stuff, got to do stuff. Because we aren't breathing and kicking for a long time. Just a short time. Yeah. Well, there's plenty of stories I could tell you, Lily. Make your hair curl, even at 28 years of age. But Lily didn't make it a few times in my life, but I'm here. Luck's a fortune. Mel's cute. We met Mel. She's a lovely lady. Hopefully meet her husband in the near future. Now don't mention a word. She has arrived.
What? Don't mention what?
No, just made that up.
Hi everyone. A few people in the room, so I'll just blow you all a kiss. Everyone. Saves me typing each individual one. Okay?
Oh, you can have talk to them. Oh, she swung it back to me. Yeah, two sides of an argument still doesn't give you a result. The problem is the argument. A lot of people must win. They must have victory at all cost. And then you'll see division. It's like I mentioned, and most of you know, I'd care less about someone's gender. It's their outlook on life. It's my perception of them, their personality, and their character. That's how I look at people. I don't care if you're whatever gender you are. It doesn't bother me. But a lot of people do.
So for some reason the chat's in the side now.
What's in the side? Oh, I didn't know that.
Ask them if they're seeing the chat on the screen.
Are you guys seeing the chat on the screen as well?
How you going, Mel?
You remain, Scarlet, as a little lamb.
Because I didn't do that the other day. Did you do anything?
Alright, so I don't know if I can get rid of it. I'm probably going to lose you, but I'll be pressing buttons. Let's have a look.
No, you won't lose.
Click on that one.
Now you got to go into this.
Yeah, it's probably settings I've got to go in.
Settings.
That's just camera. Well, editor.
Yeah, remember you got to that page where the box came up.
Live? No. I'm pressing buttons, by the way.
Yeah, there.
Editor. Chat box. So with this chat...
leave that. It did
Well, if I
something
click
else.
on it,
Okay.
nothing happens.
Alright, go back.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Just strange that it's there now and it wasn't there the other day.
Is it annoying you guys, the chat? If it is, I'll find a way to get rid of it. But probably not this one.
Sorry to interrupt. Well, it looks like it's gone. Whatever you did.
Is it gone now?
Well, it has
I didn't
on
do
my
anything.
screen. Can you still see yours okay? Nothing moved?
Scarlett says, I don't think a man can become a woman, but I respect their freedom to live as one. Exactly. You can't, even if you had all the surgery, be a genetic woman. You can live your life as a woman, even as a man, vice versa. And if you want me to call you Sally, I will. I don't care. But it's like turmoil. I'm sure a lot of the people that do this get in a lot of turmoil. They have a lot of men who become women still have a deep voice like seeds. Hello, see my boobies? No, I'm not. I'm only kidding. But you know what I mean. Deep voice, walk like a man, talk like a man, big esophagus, bumpy thing in the middle of the neck. But it doesn't matter. Hello, Seal Hater. Hello, Oz. It's called Streamlabs on an app on my iPhone. Really simple. I just go through Streamlabs and it hooks up to my YouTube and I press play. Yeah, so I don't want to harp on the issue of that, but a lot of people take it too far. Like they'll wave a card saying, Seeds, you're being whatever. And I'm thinking, I'm not. My opinion and my perspective is mine. You shall not dictate to me what I'm supposed to think. That's the main catalyst. Do you understand? It's like if I think of something and I have a perception of something, it's mine. You can't tell me how to think. You're not thought police, but some of them want to be. You shall call me Sally. Okay. Hello, Sally.
Where'd Mel go?
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Cover an apple with an orange rind and call it an apple.
Oh, thanks, Chamo.
Yeah. Hello, Chemo. It's got to be you got to be true to yourself, and that's even for the person involved with what they want to be. But you must be true to yourself. You mustn't be dictated to. It's not being not politically correct to agree with what they want you to do. It's because you have every right to be individual as well. Live your life with your opinions and your perspective. No one has the right to change that.
Did I miss? Oh, there, Jazz. Did I miss Jazz?
Yeah, Jazz is here.
Fast boy Craig. Hi.
I've seen it in real life, Lulu, which is very sad. It's more of a problem of the person screaming than it is of someone who misgendered them, because it was their opinion and their observation and their perspective. It was a man. You can't blame others' viewpoint and yell and scream at them because they don't agree with what you perceive you to be. That's where it falls down. You can't tell people what to think.
Did you get re-asked? Did you get the storm? No, we didn't.
No, we got rain.
Only a little bit of rain though.
Yeah, even that doesn't matter to me, Pixie. It's like, even if people like me are not that attractive, we still have a purpose in life. I can hold doors open. Maybe you could step on me if it's wet outside. No, my whole point is each and every one of us has something to offer the world. Doesn't mean we all have to be superstars.
Hi, Danny.
Hello, Danny G. But there's too much of a projection from some people. And I'm not even talking about men dressing up as wigs. I'm talking about normal people on YouTube who project how great they are and how important they are, when in fact they are insignificant.
Chat came back on the screen. We're doing good.
Come back
Seal.
again, did it?
Yeah, it's come. Yeah.
Oh, it's coming and going, is it?
Well, I'm presuming as people are typing. Yeah, I just noticed that.
Oh, I can't see that, of course, because I've got the program running. Yeah, so just be yourself. You aren't being mean if you misgender someone by saying, hello, mister. And that person says, I'm not a mister, I'm a missus. You say, well, okay, now I know. I'll call you that. But don't yell and scream at me for misgendering you, because my observation and perception is you were a man. It's ridiculous. Again, there are no thought police. Live your life the way you want to live it, from your perspective, your opinions. They don't have to agree with anyone.
Yes, Pigsy.
Actually, we had it too. And Mel, I've tried it. It's awful. Yeah, I told you we got that the other day. We had a tub each, and I ate it. It had little Hershey chocolates in it, but it was quite bland. So I'll be honest, even if they were giving it away, I
Hey, VMAC.
wouldn't get it. Hello, VMAC. Yeah, I know. We tried it, didn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, rating-wise,
I wouldn't pay.
it doesn't really taste like ice cream, Mel, I think.
I wouldn't pay the $8 for it, Mel.
No, she said it was 10.
10 was it?
Still had the sign up today, but didn't have any there.
Oh, that is annoying, that chat on the side.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know what to do with it.
I just don't understand why it's there now and it wasn't the other day.
Okay, I've pressed a button, obviously.
You have.
You have a look at another button, see if I can find it. No, it's not that one.
You don't want to move the bottom chat box, that's
You'd
yours.
think it'd be in settings, wouldn't you? Like chat. Settings. Twitch. Audio. About. No. I'm looking, excuse me. Editor. It comes up as chat box. Now if I just pull it, I'm just going to pull it way off to the left. I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to go back. If anything, it should only just be on the very edge. You've got little boxes you can move around in editor.
Well, that little thing up the top's gone. That was their last chat. But is the chat still there for you, though?
Well, yeah, I see the chat.
Okay, testing. There you go. Does that come up? What Chamo wrote?
Chamo, VMAC, I speak for whoever I want. Is that what you're saying?
It's all right. I'm just... yeah, it's on the corner there. Look.
I sent you dinner, Mrs. Seeds. Oh, you got a picture. Rosemary, all the trimmings.
So it's just in the...
Yeah, see, that's what I said. I just pulled it way off to the left.
But there is a way that you can... Yeah, anyway. All right, I'll have a look now. Roast Mary.
Rosemary. It's roast beef, obviously. Rosemary, Yorkshire pud. I'm guessing peas, maybe beans, carrots.
Oh, I thought maybe she was
broccoli.
Being smart and wrote rosemary as in roast lamb.
Has to be roast beef. But yeah, I think I'm seeing a change. I mean, we don't visit the dark void web. I pop in and pop out if I do. See, he needs a smoke now. There you go, mate. Got that one. But things are changing. The self-professed glamour kings and queens of YouTube seem to be failing and fading, which is a good thing. And a lot of things are coming to a head. And that sometimes, even though it looks a bit nasty, is also a good thing. When you bring things out into the light, be they unpleasant to deal with or not, at least you're dealing with them.
I haven't done much today.
No.
More important
Probably went down,
things.
spent out, and we got handles picked, I told them, for the kitchen. You can have a bit of a wink wag. She doesn't want to go on camera. Her makeup artist isn't here.
No, it's not that.
What?
I'm in a spaced out mood today.
And I'm going to tell you why we're both a little bit indifferent. Today is 1 year since my wife's mother passed. So we've been
And it was
in
her
a strange mood.
and it was her birthday today as well.
And she died on the
would have
day she was born. So it's a special day for us. Don't want any of your sympathy, and sorry's not interested in that. It's just how we feel. It's not that we're sad, because we know that Mum wouldn't like that. She'd clip us behind the ear, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
I'm gathering flower seed today. Dead hitting my plants. Yep, sounds like a good idea. Well, I'm not, because it's raining there. It's winter. It'll be a year till you see a good garden, but you will see one. I can guarantee you that.
Oh, hey, Nikki, I missed you, sorry.
Nikki? I didn't see a Nikki.
Nikki, yeah.
Nikki Forsey.
We're in Australia.
We're in Australia, mate. There you going, alright? Wrap your laughing gear around that. A lot of colloquial language I could use on you, but none of you would understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, she is still with us, Scarlett.
Yeah, she's still here. Literally, she's still here.
Yeah, it's just sort of a weird feeling, like, you know, you sort of sit and reflect and think, my God, this time last year, what was I doing?
Hello, Kathy.
Yeah. Hey, Kathy.
And brother-in-law in Indonesia today had a gallstone operation. How big, you reckon, that one that you got a photo of? Probably about 2 inches long.
Oh no, that was one big round one.
Big
Thanks,
round,
everyone.
bit like a golf ball.
Yes, my mum was special. I will do a little video, but it'll be a fun one, not a sad one. Of some.
I've
We
got
don't
that
mind
video
showing our mum.
with the dogs if you want to use that one.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother-in-law had to have a gallbladder operation today. Poor bugger.
Yeah, life
Oh,
is not
chocolate.
a mystery. We live for a short period and then we're gone. But we leave marks like indelible ink in our children and family and friends. That's how it works. I don't want to leave any big sign. Just footprints in the sand on the edge of a beach. So when the next wave comes in,
And we all leave a legacy of
they
some
can be washed
sort.
away.
That's a question.
But there's a lot of, like I say, I've been dipping in and dipping out. Even on Tucker's channel there's been a bit of fire, wind and brimstone, and I'm of the understanding that things are coming to a head and things being brought out in the open. And that, as unpleasant as it may seem, is a good way to digest everything and then move forward on a different way. If you have to ignore someone because they're just a pain in the ass, just ignore them. Just accept that. Then that pain in the ass disappears.
I'll just pack my bags and go to VMAX. She's got the chocolate fountain.
Yeah, but you think she's going to let you anywhere near it?
Yeah, we've already decided we're going to be cremated, VMAX.
So is Lulu still here? She asked me a strange question today to see if she's still here.
Do you all have... I missed that question. Sorry, Danny. Do we have Twinkies in Australia? No.
Twinkies?
Yeah,
no,
no,
the
we
answer
don't.
is yes. You can get them, but they're awful. Creamy filled, spongy
Well,
things.
actually, yeah, one shop in Perth somewhere in the city, I think, isn't it, Mel, if you're still there?
Twinkies are really a 60s and 70s thing.
I don't know how come I'm missing some chat.
So Scarlett's been refurbishing and she's finished now after 3 months, but I said to her, I bet you got curtains and new furniture to get, and she probably said, yep. Because you never really finish. You when you refurbish, you change. So when you change the furniture, it looks like, well, that doesn't look good.
What? Who's done
Scarlett's been doing a lot of work by herself. And I said at the time that you would be definitely helping with the painting and a bit of sanding and things like that. You are going to help, aren't you?
Oh, am I?
Huh?
I'm too short to paint.
I'll find low bits for you to paint, don't worry. You do the skirting boards. There are your thoughts. Yep. You can do what you like with the remains of me. I don't really care. I have no need.
They're Mel's thoughts. I'm missing chat here. I don't even know what you're thinking about, Mel. I don't know where it's gone.
Doesn't matter. A lot of projects in life, like you think of things to do, like maybe a big garden project, patios and whatever, and you've got it all in your head, and you can probably do it yourself, but there's, at the time, there's not much of the readies around to do it. Yeah, we got a few, haven't we, Mel? I mean, I didn't get time to go into the Chinese supermarkets in that area we went.
Where we had lunch,
but we will.
There's a New Zealand shop somewhere. Actually, I don't think it's in the Perth City. I think it's in a suburb, Mel, in Armidale or somewhere. Is a New Zealand shop that sells all stuff from New Zealand. We've got a bit of English stuff in our local supermarket.
So Nikki Forrest wants to be cremated and have my ashes blown away on the back of my husband's Harley.
Oh, cool.
Well, you could reword that and say I'm going to get blown on my husband's Harley.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. No, actually today is beautiful. It's about 22 degrees. Looked threatening. Got quite muggy actually because the clouds came in very low and fast. And even now it's only about 17 degrees at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
But all the buds are out. I pointed out to some people a couple of days ago, the buds on the fig tree are out, and different buds even behind me. We've got a couple of fruit trees. You can see the buds on that lemon tree in particular. They're coming out.
So Scarlett said about, do you still do trivia? We haven't done trivia in a little while.
I know it doesn't seem it, but we have been busy.
Plus your computer and...
Yeah, I'll be getting another computer, probably in the near future.
And Seal Hader said, has it been cold here? It has been up until the last 3 days. I don't know about you, Mel, but we've had nice weather here. Yeah,
basil always does well in containers. So does... Actually, a good combination is chives, basil, Italian parsley. They're a good three. They just work really well together.
Mel, we've got rain here. It's raining right now.
Yeah, no, we had rain, Mel. We had rain for the last few hours. Did you have any big thunderous clouds coming down there? Because we did. I did see on the news, briefly, that there was a big meeting in Mandurah about crime rate.
Mandurah. Yes, Mel. I ain't coming to visit you now after that news story. No, just kidding.
You got your first green pepper. Wow, they flush from now on then for you, Gemma. You know how it works. Down the bottom of the plant, you're going, woo, look at that. But I love it when my chili plants go crazy. Tomatoes this time of year for you guys should be looking magnificent. When I grow my tomatoes, they'll be going down alongside of the back fence because they'll only get about 7 to 8 hours of sunlight. For a reason, in summer it's too hot. So in the late evening, the heat's off them. We get a lot of sunlight, and if it's really, really hot, you killed 7 mice. Yeah, well, they like green peppers, Chamo, as you know. Rats, mice, they'll eat peppers. Same with parrots here. I watched a whole flock of parrots in about 5 minutes destroy about 30 pounds of peppers. They nibble on them, and they don't eat them, but they just shred them, and they get the juice, which has got the vitamin C in that they need. But they can do it with someone else's plants, not mine.
I'm not much better, Hannah, but I still have fun. That's what trivia's all about. Mel, the weatherman, they told us.
I think it's on and off for the next week, Mel, I think. But we are getting an early spring. Spring officially in Australia is September the 1st.
Vemek was just saying everything's late where she is.
Everything's early here.
Because it's been so cold and wet.
Methandra.
Yeah, meth, yeah.
Well, like I say, the foreshore down there is just perfect. If I was homeless, I want to be homeless down on the foreshore. Do you know what I mean? No one bothers you. There's running fresh water, there's toilets.
But really, why did they bother putting that news story on just one suburb of Perth? Because at the end of the day, there is crime rates all over the world, all over Australia.
Yeah, rabbits are good to look at.
Areas are having bad crime rates, so I don't know why they just picked one suburb out.
Yeah, I like growing corn. I always grow corn in a cluster of about 9 feet by 9 feet. Gives me enough plants to pollinate themselves. I get 2 good sized corn and they're organic. But you've really, with corn, unless you freeze it, which I blanch, cut them up into portions, blanch them, let them dry off, put them in a bag and freeze them. But you need a big freezer. Do you know what I mean? You can have all that corn, or you've got to eat a lot of corn. You can pick your corn really for about 8 weeks, maybe 10 weeks if it's mild. And if you don't, well, you end up... Well, I don't know what you guys do to save your own seed on the corn, but I leave it on the plant. Literally leave it on the plant. And what I do is at the very top, I'll put a lackey band around the top so it closes up after it's started drying. And just leave it. It's the best place to dry your corn, on the plant. As long as the bugs and the mice don't get in there, you're good.
I bought strawberries today, VMAC. Whoops, I didn't finish the sentence.
How to cook 7 minutes streamed. I don't know what that means, Seal. Woohoo! Congratulations, my friend. You've now reached a different level. Yeah, we got strawberries today, but I'm not sure where they come. They must have become from Kununurra.
Yeah, because it was like...
Where do you reckon, Mel? They're coming down from Kununurra?
I had to buy frozen blueberries because we didn't have them for a while.
Yes, it's true, Cooper. My grandfather told me that. Even a bad gardener eats well. In other words, if you put effort in, you may not get everything that you wanted to get, but you'll get something. It's like life, though, Cooper. That's very much a life you could use a metaphor as well.
I'd be in that. I'll bring the strawberries and we'll dip it
Raspberries.
in the chocolate.
I love raspberries. When I was a kid in the UK, I used to have a little alley. A lot of the old alleys in the UK are what they call foraging lanes, deliberately planted hundreds of years ago. Blackberries, raspberries, you name it. And as a kid, I used to just walk down one to go to school. I used to walk 4 miles to school and back every day. But you could eat your way all the way there and all the way back at certain times of the year. Not in winter, of course.
I don't know, the other day, when the blueberries first came back into the shop, they were $8 for
Good
how many?
says hello to you.
Yeah,
$8. It would be. It was going to be $32 a kilo, which is about $14 a pound.
And then a couple of weeks later, they went down to $4.
And they're $2.90 tomorrow.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, just saw it on my message I got.
I haven't tried the strawberries yet, VMAC, so if they taste any good, I will bring them over.
We're a month ahead here. Mel, are you looking out in your garden and seeing buds starting to form on things? Because that's normally a September thing. But each year it just seems to be getting earlier. You can probably hear the rain falling.
Yeah, just be prepared if we have to
And I'll
move in
turn
a
this
hurry.
video into a meditation.
Mel, we've got rain. Do you want us to send it down to you? Yeah, I said hello to Cooper. I hope you're not driving, Cooper, and chatting.
If he's got to talk too.
Oh, I talked to you. Just
Okay,
checking. Got to look after our chatters.
You know, I've eaten geese in the past and they're quite nice, but they're very oily. Oily buggers. Yeah, I love listening to rain. Put you to sleep. A glass of Shiraz, some chocolate, and those strawberries will be fabulous.
Yeah,
VMAC flicks a hair back.
Merlot. I'll have Merlot, VMAC.
Cooper's hands are above the covers, just as well. If you're looking at me and they're under the covers, I'm closing the chat down, son.
Oh, dear.
But I'm thinking about shaving. What do you think? Might have to do a few scary stories first with the beard.
If you shave your beard off, I'll tape that and put it up.
We could sell it on eBay. Someone could
What,
use
your beard?
Yeah, someone could use it for a merkin. Yes, I am. We're just saying before you got here, Coops, that there are certain things, you've got one particular thing happening, but I'm not highlighting that. There are a few things that are coming to a head. And in many ways, even though it's conflict and all that, it's good in many ways because you can get things out in the open and you can shake the bloody things and things land according to logic. It's when things are kept, suppressed and you don't say what you want to say because you must. There are no such thing as thought police. Just because someone wants you to think of them in a particular manner, they have no right to control my thoughts. It won't work. My perspective and opinions are mine. And that's how it should be. So we're watching a lot of things unfold, which are a bit, conflicting, but out in the open they are. Hello, YouTube lovers.
Oh my God, I hate, sorry.
Sorry, I just did that for Coops.
I dislike that. Sorry, I didn't mean to use the word hate. I actually dislike that beginning. That is quite annoying, but that's okay. Each to their own.
Look, I started watching her a year ago, and she could do some funny stuff. But she's gone down this path to build a channel, to make money. We can say it many other ways, but a lot of people are seeing the dollar signs now. And up goes the PayPal, and up goes the Super Chats, and up goes the Streamlabs, and up goes the PayPal.
But
it's all about the dollar.
But at the end of the day,
and I don't approve.
Yeah, well,
that's my opinion again. Remember, see, no one can give me my thought police lesson. If I don't agree with something like that, I'm entitled not to agree. I could stick up all sorts of things. I've been monetized for many years, but you've never seen one, and you won't. If someone is genuinely good, they'll make money through AdSense. That's how it works. But it looks a very belittling thing when they start innuendo, like I could do with a new windscreen, or I could do with a new pair of shoes. Can't afford it at the moment. Oh, thank you for the $20 in Super Chat.
Yeah, accepting...
It's suggestive, but it's still doing this.
I agree with you, mate.
Okay.
Accepting tips is fine. People want to put all that on their channels, whatever, that's fine. Because a lot of people have got it, and a lot of people don't actually mention it during their videos or their live streams,
You're right,
whatever.
Coops, you've got to be who you are. And it's not even not being politically correct, it's just being truthful. If everyone was a little bit more truthful, there'd be very few conflicts.
Well, we see what you see with us is what you get.
I know Coops' channel, Famous Graves, is going well. I don't know whether you're going to continue that same format, but I like to hear your voice.
Yes, Cooper.
Over the Famous Graves. I only have one tip, and I'm not being critical. Actually, I am. No, if you could just slow down the speed of how you say things, because you've got a really good voice, but sometimes it's a bit quick for me. But I'm old. But I'm figuring, Coops, loads of old people are going to be watching it, because they're close to the grave. They've probably got 1 foot in it, like me. But I do like your voice when you do the voiceover. Just every now and then it's a bit quick for me, that's all. You don't have to change. Again, like I said, this is my opinion and perspective. Doesn't mean you do what I say. But yeah, no, it's going to be... If you haven't seen Cooper's other channel, I'll ask him if he can just to put it in it, because it's really interesting.
It is. I love it.
It's got information about people that were famous who have passed that I didn't know. You don't know everything, obviously.
Yeah, I know. Some of it, I didn't realise that. And so many died so young.
Oh, you're thinking of me, and this is Famous Grave.
Oh, did you just hear that? There's a cat fight next door.
Oh, it's a cat fight, or it's one of them YouTube rooms where they just go for it. One of the two.
Yeah, no, I like it when you narrate as well. So
yeah, I know you've done ones just with screen words coming up, and they're good, they're fine. But the voice works, definitely. Hello, Seal Haver says just don't fornicate with me. I don't know who's fornicating with you.
Oh, there's a
Seal?
few different conversations there. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really interesting. But I just can't believe that some of these famous people, how young they died. And I love going through the old cemeteries with you, Cooper. I love it.
Yeah, that's what they were at school, weren't they, VMAC? And yet, some of the 50 and 60-year-olds are still at school on YouTube. Meet you after school, I'm going to beat your head in. Bring your mates, bring them all. Absurd. Yeah, I haven't seen anything new from Famous Graves for a while, Cooper. I know you've been busy, and I'm sure you will do them.
Yeah, he did one the other day, didn't you, Cooper? I watched it. Or maybe
I
I'm
didn't see it.
behind.
Yeah, it's like you're really good, Cooper, at emphasising something that's important in a statement. Like, this particular famous person nearly died at the age of 12. You already got people encapsulated. They go, what?
Except
What
not,
happened?
not quite in that sort of voice, though, Seeds.
No, but I'm just emphasising the point that he's very good at highlighting something important within the history of that person.
Yes, the Coca-Cola guy. I didn't realise he died so young. And then I asked Cooper, did he actually drink Coke?
You're talking about Pemberton, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, it was interesting.
How I know that is I used to work for Coca-Cola before I got a Pepsi franchise. My name was Mud for a few years, trust me.
Seal,
Why have you left us?
Hang on a sec. I just got to clear something out. Seal, hello, Seal. Can you hear me? I'm just not quite sure
Who are you angry with?
who you're talking to, or are you typing in ours, but you're actually in another room, which I've done myself accidentally.
I've got a few stories that I've got on my channel, but you'd have to hunt for them. But I will do a few more. My grandkids love me telling them stories. But like I say, if Coops does more of the voice within his famous graves, it's your trademark, is what I'm saying, Coops. It's your voice that makes the visual entertaining. You can put words up on the screen. Marilyn Monroe was found on a bed, dead, possible overdose. But when you say it, it has more depth.
So you just will do like around America?
Hello, Prince. How you going, my friend?
You'll just do like around America, Cooper? Your famous graves, or are you going
Well,
to
he
do
doesn't
the
have
world?
to. You can do the whole world.
Doesn't that sound amazing? Do the whole world.
I think the easy way to do it, Coops, would be to still put the words that you're talking on the screen. So when you go back and do a voiceover, you match the words. And don't be frightened every now and then. This is just a tip to put a few pauses in between something that's just very dramatic that you've said. And then you move on to the next point.
But then sometimes, I agree with you, Cooper, you get lazy, but sometimes you don't need a voiceover. As long as it's not too much typing to read.
Oh, I think the voice makes the
yeah,
video, is what I'm saying.
Because
Look,
Cooper's...
I mean, I'm a great lover of watching a great movie with a great soundtrack, or how suspense can be brought into the show just by music alone.
Yeah.
So it's a big thing for me that the sound. Otherwise, if I went blind, I could still imagine a bit. If I was blind and watching a movie, it sounds a contradictory terms, I'd still be feeling what's happening through the music.
Sometimes you...
I'm not telling you what to do, mate. I just know that your voice works.
Yeah, you've got a good voice, but sometimes you don't need a voiceover. Just the music and the video is really good.
Yeah, again, I've enjoyed the ones more where he's narrated.
Like Danny and I said before, we'll agree to disagree.
That's
We're
fine.
not going to have a domestic.
We can do that.
We're not going to have a domestic in front of our
If you say so,
guys.
dear. Whatever you say, dear. Check it out. But if you would, Coops, if you got a chance to, just while there's a few people in here, please put your link to Famous Graves in the chat, and then people will know what we've been gabbling on about. You've got a unique voice. You've got a very European voice, Pixie. And I think your narrations would be good. I watched Jen and Bruce's last two videos, last couple of days, and it's just been driving on the road.
Yeah, but
No, I'm not knocking it, but I kept saying, "Are we there yet?"
gee, they're having a good cat fight. Now, see, that's where I would put music with it. I'm more a person to
Good
put,
night, Danny G.
Good night, Danny.
Good morning, sorry. And have a good day.
Put music to things than talk, because I don't like recording my own voice. If I want to record something, I ask Seeds to do it, but I like to put music to my stuff, or leave the natural talking of the video in there.
Yeah, the voice is very powerful.
Oh, look, that's it, everybody. Famous Graves. See that name? Print, if you haven't gone and checked that out.
Famous Graves. Go and just simply look through YouTube and see that.
Just click over to the side on his name and you can go to his channel.
But I'm going to close this, so it'll just be a blank screen for a moment. And I'm going to show you the power of the voice. Can you hear me, Pixie? I see you awaken in the morning with the sun glistening on the silken bed sheets. I look in your eye and there's a smile that comes to your face which knows just one thing. Today is a wonderful day. Today you go down to the valley of the wolves. You're so looking forward to it. You pack your gear and get in the car. You speed a little bit, but you know the anticipation of the joy you will receive simply by being there. And listen over.
So if it's a super famous person, we all know music and clips are cool. The people that are not as well known or have a cool story is the one. Yeah, that's a good idea actually, Cooper. Yeah, I get what you mean by doing that.
You sound like a porn star. What's that? Chicka chicka wow wow.
Have a good night, Chamo.
No, the voice is very powerful. I used to deliver meditation in a previous role I used to have. And they would tape what I used to do and they would use it around this country for rehabilitation and relaxation.
That's when he worked in the prison.
My name would be Tall Fucker.
Hey, buddy.
Hello, BB.
What would Seeds porn? Well, like I said, if you want to know your stripper name, Cooper,
I think if I ever went into porn, I'd call myself Coops.
You do the colour of your underwear and the last thing you ate. So, what was that?
Mine's going to be blue beef. Which sounds appropriate for a porn star when you think about it. Look, I mean, one of the things I remember, and I'm sure a few of you do, is listening, sitting next to a fire on a cold winter's night to stories on the radio, and how it was just unbelievable. I mean, I never had a television when I was a kid, so the radio was it, but it was suspenseful. There were horror stories, there were ghost stories, there were adventure stories, and with the right sound effects and music, you were there.
Oh my God, I'm not.
So sound is very important.
I'm not telling you what mine would be then, Cooper.
Porn name is your middle name and the name of your first pet. Mine's James Lucky. Well, mine would be, what was he saying? The first bit's got to be your middle name.
Your middle name and your first pet name.
All right. It would
oh,
be.
My mama.
No, mine would be Daniel Bocky, which sounds pretty good. This is a Bocky production.
I thought you meant...
We had a dog named Bocky when I was a kid, and that's South African name for a little deer.
Oh, I thought you
Bocky.
meant your cat that you called Mama Cat.
No.
You've been Daniel Mama Cat.
But,
oh my God.
I look, I mean, other than the obvious pleasure that you may derive from being in that industry, it's short-lived and it's, you know, not going to set you up for the rest of your life. I actually knew a hooker once. She was about 50 when I met her. She was still going, but she was about to retire. She'd never spent any of her money. She'd saved it all. She had about a dozen houses that she'd purchased, and she retired very comfortably. But she had a goal, she set out to do it, and she did it. I don't care how she got her money. And like I say, when you think about people in that industry but on film, I don't think many of them buy 12 houses and retire at age 50.
Yeah, that's like sometimes.
Yeah, I've got a whole heap of them, buddy.
we
I
some-
love the old radio shows.
And sometimes we sit and watch where they have taken the old movies from the 1900s and sort of redone them. We just sit and watch them.
There's quite a few channels on YouTube like Oldest Video, if you like, of New York, or Oldest Video of London or Berlin. And a lot of them have been digitally enhanced, and they're brilliant.
And it's
And
so
they've been
good.
speed adjusted. So it's fascinating. A lot of people in those days were looking at the camera like it's really new. Wouldn't happen today, of course. I lived on a narrowboat for 5 years. That would have been brilliant in the channels.
And did I
An
interview?
interview with BBC Radio 4. It does. You often will listen to yourself, even if you just record yourself now and play it back. You think, who's that? Do I sound like that? You have to go. I always think of MB like jogging on the spot.
The
When she
MB.
comes around, she's got a headband on like Olivia Newton-John, white t-shirt, the real short shorts and joggers, and she's just, right, gotta go. See you, Pixie.
What did Hannah say? Buddy Boppy is definitely a porn star name or the name of an inmate's girlfriend.
Ah, we've heard your ringtone, MB.
Have we? I can't remember what it is.
Oh, she said it was Sis calling her one or something. I remember that one. But life's good fun, as long as you don't take things too seriously. When things hurt you, walk away, turn your back on them.
Yeah,
There's
Kathy.
no point fighting something that all it's going to do is give you grief.
It's real interesting watching some of those old movies, isn't it? When they did the old black and white and they've redone them. And when you watch the people on those old movies, like they've obviously got a camera set up or whatever, and how all the people stop in front of the camera and go like this, all these big smiles
Yeah,
and
we watched a
talking,
few
but there's no
recently.
sound. It was so cool.
But you'd see the one kid in about 10 different shots
Yeah.
because he wants to be in front of
For
the camera.
yeah. So can you hear the rain? Man, your screen's
Have
busy.
you ever... This what?
Screen is busy. Hey, awesome.
Have you ever seen the rain?
What about
Oh,
raindrops
man,
keep
now.
falling on my head? Johnny Farnham. Can't remember the rest and I can't sing.
Oh, the other one is raindrops keep falling on my head.
So come on, someone write the words. Can't remember.
When you walk in a storm, hold your head up high
I loves you more.
and don't be afraid.
I love you. I love. Love.
And a like that surely can't be bad. Hello, awesome.
Awesome hiker.
Just a quick question, awesome. Have you been out to dinner yet? We're just curious. We did leave you a message on that thingy that I don't normally use, but you've not replied. It's like I'm getting a bit of a shoulder. I'm sure that's not the case, but we wanted you to have a lovely evening out. Or buy yourself a tiara. Yeah? That'd be nice. I don't see any big deal with gender, Cooper.
What?
Man, the old story of man, woman or beast, it doesn't matter. It's whether it shows its teeth or the smile.
Excuse me, Cooper. Women are gorgeous. Just say that.
Yeah, it's like the emphasis on beauty. This would make a good discussion. You know, beauty is one of the best advertisement tools to take money off people, men and women. Don't.
Oh,
Oh, good.
Sunday. Oh, good.
You have a good one anyway. But beauty is overrated because some of the most gorgeous men and women can be real assholes. So they're not really, because I think beauty is a package. That's how I look at it.
What's the saying?
Beauty is a package. The outside might be a bit crumbly, but inside it just melts with like.
Beauty.
Do you know what I mean?
In the eye of the beholder.
Nah, surface beauty is one thing.
Okay, see you, V-Mac.
See you, V. Have a good one. Yeah, and it's not a big thing, Hannah, is it? It's like, I did march in gay pride events in the 70s and 80s. It was a big deal. There was lots of things happening in the 70s and 80s. AIDS was rampant. People were being castigated for all sorts of things. People were losing their jobs. People would know what I'm talking about. So as a young fellow, I walked saying every man and woman, no matter what they want in life, should be equal. Even as a young man, I was furious that gender or sexual preferences could destroy your career, in some cases end your life. It was a war, trust me, it really was a war. But today, and for the last 15 to 20 years, it's not.
We have to watch.
There is no war anymore on that.
Gotta watch the drips in a minute.
Oh, we've got gay friends and they're funny as, but they get what's the word? They get a bit sparky sometimes, don't they? Like,
only between themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, not with,
as
not
partners,
with us,
they get a bit sort of fiery every now and then,
So what was?
and get in a bit of a tiff. If Cooper knows what I'm saying.
What's for breakfast? Awesome, because it's.
Awesome will be having the 9 stoves and 6 ovens blazing away by now.
Oh look, the chat's gone now, completely at the side. Look.
Okay. I just get to see the chat in the middle.
But the little thing up the top's come back.
I don't think you should tell anyone what to do. I always ask. My wife always asks the most simplest things. Like I said earlier today, would you like to eat in about half an hour? And she said, okay. Instead of just bringing the meal and saying, well, there you go.
Yeah, that's a good one, Prince. That's true.
What's that?
Prince says one lesson is when you tell a woman what to do and she replies, what? If not, she didn't understand.
I did a test once, Coop, and I did it deliberately. I had about 8 or 9 friends, and I told them what I was doing. And I was saying, I'm going to show you whether you're a conservative or liberal. And they said, how can you do that? I said, I'm just going to ask you life questions. And I went through a whole range of questions. In the end, there's a sliding scale that this particular test gave. Every one of them were in the middle. Extreme on some views, extreme on another view, the other way.
Oh, waffle.
So we are literally in the middle, but we have differing opinions about different subjects. We all want the same thing. We want our kids to grow up healthy. We want a good roof to live under. We want some form of happiness in our life. So we don't want for anything different. We want the same things.
Yeah.
Oh, you made eggs Benedict. Did you use olive oil for the egg yolk?
You should have videoed.
Pinch of salt. What else did you do?
That, Cooper.
I'm interested, Coops, when it comes to... I've never seen a Coops cooking show.
No.
Yeah, that could have been a good one.
Awesome had waffles, sausage patties, bacon and fried potatoes. Yum.
That would do me for a week. Awesome. Overrated eggs Benedict. It's just egg stuff on top of an egg. A lot of faffing around. Mind, it does look good on some steamed asparagus, cracked black pepper, bit of butter, followed by a poached egg with a little bit of hollandaise sauce on top. Yes, but I don't want to bother making it.
Okay, Cooper, we'll try and organise that. We'll help you search for that when we come over.
Well, there's plenty on the bottom of YouTube that would fit into that cast of The Wizard of Oz nicely, like the Wicked Witch of the West or the East. We could probably find characters to fill that role. Probably find a few Dorothys for sure. definitely find a Tin Man and a lion without a heart and a scarecrow. You could actually make a little skit about that if you like. You have my full permission. You got 12-inch feet. Well, mine are 13, son, so you got something from me.
12 wide.
Yeah, he's talking about a wide, broad foot. Mine the same. I got big hoofers. I put Awesome to shame.
I don't start.
Yeah, it's true, Awesome. I mean,
Awesome's got cute feet.
we've had kids your age, trust me. The fridge, males will not have a door on it, let's be honest. Oh, there you go, buddy. You know what I mean? You can fill the character list quite quickly. But we know the Tin Man would have to be filled by the man in the tin van.
No.
Because he hasn't got a brain. I've big hoofers. You got nothing.
You don't have... Your feet aren't that big.
Mrs. C's will be
Awesome.
Dorothy. Papa will be the lion. Me and the Tin Man. Awesome will be the Wicked Witch of the West.
She's not in the West.
Well, we know if we change the scenario, and Awesome will forgive me here, but having big hoofers, and we went to the movie Shrek, who's going to be the ass?
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
donkey. Check out these hoofers. She needs big feet. She lives in the south. Gets very swampy there. It's good ribbing each other. None of us are here to make anyone hurt. If you are, I'll boot your ass. I'm Fiona.
Fiona.
Of course.
Who's Fiona?
She's the one that also was Shrek-like in the end.
Oh, I was
Do you remember?
I was still at Wizard of Oz. I'm thinking, who's
Oh
Fiona?
no, there's
in
no
the
Fiona in the
Oz?
Wizard of Oz. So, yeah, I think Bergs will make a good ass because you know he's been in training for years. What? Because you can get that movie with King Julian.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that.
You got to move it, move it.
I love
You
you.
got to move it, move it.
I go take the grandkids to watch those movies just to see King Julian myself.
Yeah, look, I mean, look, every one of you will say, oh, there's bits of me I would rather change and I'd rather have whatever, and you're not going to get a choice. That's it. There's a stamp been made genetically and you're given it, big hoofers or no big hoofers. That's what you got. It's the smile that makes a person, not the frown.
It takes more to frown.
It really does. But life's to have fun if you can. I'm getting a little bit damp with a bit of a sprinkle here.
Because the wind has picked up.
Yeah,
So what is 12 wide? So you say your shoe size is...
it's the bridge of your knuckles of your feet.
Yeah, but... Oh, okay. Well, because we don't... When you say 12, I think of that as the length of your
No,
foot.
that is the length. It's just that it's wide.
Oh.
Sometimes you have a broad foot that's high and you can't fit into a lot of shoes. Yep, I have 13s. I've had them for a long time.
But aren't American sizes different to Australian?
I don't know. Just check that out, Cooper. Size 13 Australian to 12 American. It might be the same. I don't know. There must be a scale on Google that tells you American foot size compared to Australian. Size 16 in Australia. What? That's the size 12 in America?
Wow, that sounds huge then. You'd never get a pair of shoes in America.
No. I do. I had a friend that had size 17. And we stick to inches. If I say 13, my foot is 13 inches long. That's how Australians' shoes have been forever. It must be the shenanigans happening. You take the high road and I'll take the low. And I'll be in Boytland before ye.
Keep going.
No.
I'm going to help out at a sausage sizzle tomorrow in our local hardware store called Bunnings. Actually, I should do a bit of filming for you to show you what it's all about. We have
Yeah,
a
we can do that.
hardware store.
Australians have sausage sizzle, which is normally a bun, onions, sausage and sauce. And it's done to raise money for all different schools in general. So you can raise $400 or $500 in one morning.
And it's always outside of Bunnings, so I'm
Big hardware store.
helping to help my grandson's class to go on their camp this year.
Man, it cost him a fortune.
Oh, there you go. So US 12 equals 11.5 American.
All right, so I'm 13. So we must be about the same then.
Wow.
That's what it sounds like, because I'm 13. Must be US 12.
God,
Or something like that.
Buddy, your son, 7 foot. Did I read that right? 7 foot tall.
And 16 shoes.
Wow.
But, buddy, isn't it true? You're old enough to know this, that each generation over the last probably 80 years has got bigger and bigger. My grandmother stood 4'6". I'm 6'5". She was 4'6". I could see eye to eye to her when I was about 7. But there was, in her siblings, there was like 5 foot would have been the tallest. And if you look at old homes, if you've ever been to historical sites, all the door jambs come up to my teeth. Like they're only 5'8", 5'9" high.
England was worse for that for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I couldn't go into some of the buildings, seriously. I'd bash my head on the roof.
Yeah, size 16. Wow. Oh, that's like, well, I forgot his name, the tallest guy in the world. What was his name?
Well, they all die, unfortunately,
Awesome
quite
will
young.
tell me in a minute because she's clever. The tallest guy in the world.
Oz 13 is US 12.5. Okay, yeah, I thought it was about 12. But I've got a fairly broad foot as well, so my shoes are big.
I can Waldorf? No.
That's a salad. My wife wears size Waldorfs.
No, I was trying to think of the tallest guy in the world, his name. Waldo?
Are you looking for Waldo? Or are you looking for Wally? On that note, we might have to go. My battery's just about gone. I've got a couple more minutes, which I'll stay for a couple of minutes.
I'll get your charger. If Awesome puts in the guy's name, tell me.
Oh, she's getting the charger, so we've got an extend. Unless you want to open up a room hooker or coops, let me know. I'm happy to fold. Paul Chong, tallest man in the world.
Who is that?
Paul Chong. Hello, welcome back, Kathy.
No, well, you've just got to plug it in because whether you finish the stream or not, your phone won't like.
Wings, bloody wings.
So
wings.
what's his name? Paul. Oh, I thought there was another one. I thought that was the tallest American.
Well, they don't live long.
He's all in the American museums.
Look, the one thing you know, and I'm tall, and I'm aware of this, if you walk down any given street in a city, how many old, tall people do you see? Maybe sees how long the human race has been getting wisdom teeth. Well, actually, buddy, they were used a long time ago because we used to grind all our food, literally. So probably, I'm guessing, maybe the last 300 years, as far as anthropologists would tell us. 300,000, years, 200,000 years. Because we changed our diet. We learned how to use a fire and cook, and then our front teeth became more important than our back teeth. One of the anthropologists I actually met said, at some stage, if you lived in that distant past, you would be eating a meal for about 10 hours a day to have enough energy to keep going. Because you either ate raw meat or you ate fruits and nuts and berries, which don't give you a lot of calories. And our bones were much thicker. We weren't Neanderthal by nature, the Homo sapiens, but we certainly have started to use our front teeth more than we have ever done. Why is that the case? Because everything's bloody processed. Do you know what I mean? You might as well just get a bloody straw. There's breakfast, dinner.
Yes,
Processed foods are not natural for our body, and I'm not going to go down a big bandwagon and yell and scream and shout, but eat something you got to chew.
yeah, they say.
That's all I say.
They say you shrink as you get older, but that ain't happened to Siege yet. He's still
Buddy is
6'5".
6'1", 398 pound,
Size 12.
size 12. Yeah, well, you know, buddy, you probably need to lose a bit of weight. I only tell that to me mates. It's not good for your health. You're still a young man.
Oh, that's it. That's who I was thinking of. Awesome.
He didn't live that long.
Robert Waldlow. I had the name close.
I think he was 30 or 31 and he died. But they don't live long. It's the really short old people that live long. And they all live in the same damn village in Japan. At one stage, the oldest man and the oldest woman on earth lived in the same village. However, you never saw them together. Makes you think, doesn't it? Maybe he slipped on a dress in the afternoons.
Wadlow, that's it. Wadlow. Did I say that right?
It's Wardlow.
Wardlow.
Yeah.
I was close, but I was saying
Yeah.
Waldo.
Well, you can say Wadlow if you want to. You can say Wadder.
Oh, you're taller than Cooper.
Cooper is 6'2", 230 pound. I'm 6'5", 235, 240.
I don't know what I am. 5'2".
Yeah, one of these things about getting older, Coop, is that you can say if I'm wrong or not, but you become a little bit more sedentary. Normally through that you're very busy, and that sounds a contradiction of terms. You're very busy, but you're not doing as much exercise. Well, it's true. You spend a lot of time doing business, and at the end of the day, your brain, you know, when you've got a job that your brain's rattled as much as you used to be when you were younger, when your body was rattled, meningitis.
Oh my God, awesome.
I can't say it the way you say it. There's no, look, I'm going to tell you the truth, guys. There is no such thing as a diet. Forget about it. Don't listen to any crap from anyone. Oh, use this product. You just have 2 drinks a day. There's no such thing as a diet. There is such a thing as write down everything you eat and then look at it the next day and think, geez, that was a lot. There is only one thing in life that changes your physical, and that is your attitude, your perspective.
Awesome.
If what you're doing now is not working, another famous of my grandfather's quotes, if what you're doing now is not working, stop doing it.
Awesome's boys are taller than me.
Oh, I imagine Orson's boys are
Yes,
going to end
you
up big
wrote
buggers. My youngest son's about my height. My eldest son is just a little bit shorter than me. But in my family, go back generations, there wasn't any 6-footers. There weren't any. And I'm sure all of you can have memories of grandmothers in particular and grandfathers that were a lot shorter in your living lifetime, which is staggering, because that means we're evolving into a very large species. But the biggest pain in the ass for me, and it's about America, is how your country doesn't look after your health. What do I mean by that? Well, it's nearly unaffordable to be looked after properly. So people take painkillers, ibuprofen, whatever they can get their damn hands on, because the pain's killing them, but they can't afford to go to the damn doctor. Doesn't happen in my country. Anyone can get good health care. There is no, you can't have it here. Meningitis is not a Vinnie G disease.
Hey, Vinny.
He's standing up, he's looking down to his groin area and saying, I don't have any little purple spots. It's not me.
Oh, let me ask Vinny.
What?
Vinny, Streamlabs.
What?
How do you stop the side chat box from coming up on the screen?
All I do is move it over to the left.
I know, but every now and then it pops out.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. And Vinny, we have a counter as well.
Yeah, 4'10". Quite common, wasn't it? Awesome. Even when you look at old footage, a lot of them women were tiny. Really small. 4'6" was my grandmother. She was literally up to my eyes when I was 7.
That word, what was that word meant to be that Awesome said, Rob?
Well, it's spelt the way that it was written, but she said it's so funny. There's another word she said it was funny. But it's just the way people say things. It's not derogatory. Yes, Kathy, it's probably a bit better. I could guarantee you, though Vinny and myself can probably afford to go to a doctor, if I said, Vinny, put on some old rags, just put on one thong, walk into any hospital in Australia and say your stomach hurts. And they'll whirl him in. They'll put him in the ER. They'll take his blood. They might do some testing. They'll take away his cask of wine, first of all, and then they'll run all the tests, and then he might spend a night in hospital, and he'll go home, and it won't cost him a bloody cent. But he doesn't have to put on old clothes, because you can walk in there as the richest man in Australia, because we all pay our Medicare levy, and you can get treated for free as well.
Oh, I did it again. Kathy, I didn't mean to do that. I'll fix it. Awesome.
What'd you do?
I deleted Kathy's message. I'll take my wrench off me. Kathy, are you there?
Savage.
How do I put it back?
I've got a lot of friends in the US, and it really
Kathy?
frustrates me. I told you the story of friends we had in Maryland that moved to Pennsylvania, because under Obama, what was $6 or $7 grand a year was going to go to 15 grand a year. Hello, Harvey. You're on your way to Los Aldones and get some dental floss. I heard it's much cheaper there. Arriba, so far.
Kathy, yes, sorry.
I've only spent $2,000 in gas getting there. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you keep driving down to Mexico. Your diff will break and your transmission will fall out.
Oh,
But you'll get some cheap teeth fixed.
thank God for that. I thought I'd done something else
No
to you,
logic
Kathy.
there.
Jesus, I'm hopeless when I'm on the phone.
Keep your finger away from the screen.
I meant to say hello to RV, and somehow I ended up deleting Kathy's chat.
Yeah, it does annoy me. You know, I wouldn't say you're the richest country in the world, America, by any means. But you have a lot of influence around the planet. You have immense military. But your governments, over all the years that I've been alive, cannot take care of the health of your nation. That sucks. Because if you've got people that are healthy, they can work. Yeah.
Really, Kathy.
If I was an American, I'd be only going to stand up to go into the Senate or in the House of Reps for just one thing: universal health care. That's it. Yes, for the first 15 to 20 years, it's going to cost an arm and a leg. Because every man and his dog were going to get his teeth fixed, his hernia. I mean, how many people in America are sitting there with a hernia right now because they can't afford to go and get the operation? If Vinny walks into the hospital with a hernia, they'll fix it. And Vinny won't spend a damn cent.
So your mum was short. Awesome.
Enough of my rantings about American healthcare, but it pains me to see the great country of America have people that are sick that can't afford to get sometimes any healthcare, or go to the farmyard where they sell pet antibiotics. Really?
Yeah, but that's pretty amazing.
RV's going to do his own hernia. Great, could you do that live?
You can do own
Do that live, RV, because I'm sure we're going to draw a crowd, particularly when we nick one of the arteries.
Yeah, it's not good, is it? Awesome if people
You rip
can't
into your
afford
belly
their
button.
meds. You had a hernia operation, didn't you?
Me?
When they did your
No,
gallbladder.
no. I've got a hernia in my belly button area, but I've had a few things poked in there to get to other things. It's just frustrating, you know. I mean, I often see, like, we went to the UK recently because we're a Commonwealth country. It's vice versa, by the way. Me and Vinny fly to the UK, and we're involved in a car accident. Vinny's got a broken leg, hopefully the bad one, and I've got a broken shoulder. Won't cost us a cent. We have a reciprocal agreement with the UK. Won't cost a cent. Same if someone from the UK got hurt in Australia. It's exactly the same. However, if an American comes here, you're going to be staggered by this. And why do I know this? My sister-in-law works at a hospital in administration. And there's a sign on the front, just before her window, and it says if you're a visitor from another country, if you spend one night in this hospital, it's $2,500.
If you have no insurance.
It's $350 for a basic ER consultation. Other words, in Australia they treat Americans just like they are back home. It's sickening.
You're cuddly awesome.
She's plumplacious.
Yeah, I say...
Or plumpalicious. I am sorry, I missaid that, awesome.
Plump. Seeds is a teddy bear shape.
Yeah, well, chicken wire is certainly going to stop it poking out, but I'd go for bird wire, you know, the tiny little budgie wire, mate. Chicken wire's not going to stop it.
Actually, that's an interesting question. You don't have to answer if you don't want. What operations have you had? I've had nothing touch wood except a couple of stitches from doing stuff when I was a kid, under my chin, in my knee.
God, I wouldn't know where to stop telling them.
No, that's true. Maybe it's not a very good question.
But it just annoys me. The basic health of the people of a nation. If they're healthy, they're productive. It seems false economy to give someone like whatever it's called, SSD or whatever it is, because they can't work, because they can't get the medications to fix the problem that makes them unhealthy. But then the government gives them a pension. That's dumb. Really stupid.
Spinal fusion. Oh, pain.
Well, I mean, you might have heard Tucker, who's had probably the ultimate operation of a replacement heart. And his final bill, after walking out the hospital, like in Australia, was that. God knows what it would cost to get a heart operation in the US. You'd have to probably sell 3 of the grandchildren on the open market. It's ridiculous. If you want to talk Harker, don't go on a cruise ship. Actually, we're even covered in Australia. You just pay a travel insurance.
Yeah, when we did that little cruise, we did travel insurance.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to bring that up, Vinny, but Vinny's absolutely correct in what he's just typed in the room. Russia has a better healthcare system. It has a sliding scale based on wages.
Some of the European countries are pretty good. Germany's got a pretty good health system.
Even in what you would call third world countries, Vietnam, Thailand, they have health for their older folk. They're well cared for.
Well, actually...
But they have a different mentality. They look after their old people.
My brother-in-law...
Singapore in particular.
Brother-in-law just today had his gallbladder out. They live in Indonesia. They moved there. They've got health insurance because they sort of have to. But he had a few choices of different hospitals he could go to. Now, he went in yesterday with gallbladder pain.
Yeah, talk to the people where you say it.
Okay. He went in yesterday with gallbladder pain. There's only about 2 hours difference, I think, from here to Indonesia. And had his gallbladder out today. That's how quick it just all happened. He needed it.
Pay as you go.
Because it was bad infection and all that sort of thing. In, gallbladder out, and he's doing well, and he's in recovery. Now, how quick's that? But the health insurance, I'm not sure how it works in Indonesia.
Well, they have a care for their old people as well. It's different.
They've got different levels of healthcare over there, but yeah.
It's like they've got servants there and they look after their health and the children's education. That's part of working for them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, but he had a choice of different hospitals that he could have gone to, but because he was in this one, they did it straight away.
Anyway, let's get back to your question.
Awesome has had 2 sets of tubes in each ear. So you've had grommets.
Sounds like grommets she's talking about.
You've got grommets. Removing tonsils, adenoids, removed plastic bypass, gallbladder removed.
C-section. 10
Cesarean.
DNCs and 2 stillbirths, multiple cuts and stitches.
Wow, I've had...
So was that last week?
No, I've had stitches on my knee from falling on a brick, stitches under my chin from bashing it on the back seat of an old Ford, the steel part. My daughter was a twin, lost the twin. I think God just looked down at me and realised I couldn't handle 2 of my daughter, because she's a handful, I tell you. No, she's not. God bless her, I love her. That's all I've had, touch wood. Seeds has been burnt, run
I've
over.
I've just got a list that if I start, I wouldn't finish. I will tell you I was run over when I was 7. One night in hospital, practicing crutches. Oh yeah, that'd be fun. I hate crutches. When I got run over, I had to be on crutches for a year. Went to Thailand for his SRS surgery. Thailand or Vietnam? I can't remember.
Oh God, you were hit by a car.
Hello, gay boy.
You were hit by a car as well, awesome.
Yes, I went under a vehicle and rolled over. Well, each tyre, I think, decided to roll over me.
Yeah,
But you get that, and I'm here, so obviously it wasn't as bad as I thought at the time. Like, I'm dying.
Yeah, but how old were you when you got hit by a car?
Hello,
Ella. There's your knee, lady.
Ella Bella. Da-da, da-da, da-da-da-da. Sharon Stone, eat your heart out.
My goodness, awesome. We're going to have to wrap you up.
Benny got me in big trouble. Did you hear? Really? Ethic people trying to get seen, but they were going to be judged. Wow. Yeah, anyone that visits our country without health insurance or travel insurance, you're mad. In Mount Druitt, Vinnie, which is in a suburb of Sydney, it's where our sister-in-law used to work. She's retired now. There was a sign on the window just before her kiosk because she was the receptionist there. If you're from overseas and you don't have health insurance, it'll be $2,500 a day in hospital. Welcome to Australia.
We hardly go to the doctor.
Hang on, just read what Coop's saying. He says, apparently I told Milton Vinnie is my friend, I'm now a scumbag. Coops, Milton has no relevancy. Doesn't mean anything. And if he won't talk to you again, it's a bonus.
Milton Vinnie is my friend. So
There's some nutters on YouTube, isn't there? Really?
yes, it threw me 73 feet, 20 years old. My far ass literally saved me. I had road. Wow, you are lucky then, awesome.
I've only watched one Melton video. I'm going to give you my demonstration. This is going to be very historical as far as the future.
Oh, here we go.
Been living in this damn room for 45 years. Yeah. Who's out there?
Awesome.
You going to donate any money? I've been trying to ask for money for the last 45 years and no one sent a damn thing. I think you're all evil. Anyway, I'm going to keep walking around this room. Why? Because I can. And at 10 o'clock they open the door. For a while. But seriously, it's 2049 and I still haven't got a lead. Mind you, I could get lucky tonight. See ya. That's an interpretation after watching one video. I do apologise to you, Melton, but you're too easy to take the piss out of.
Plug your phone back in.
I've got to plug back in. Just walks around in a room for days.
I had a bull go over the top. A bull, awesome, 900 pounds. He came at me and I grabbed his collar and dropped to the ground.
Oh yeah, I remember Snow Buddy. I was there from when I was 4 until I was 9. So my early childhood. I got frostbite on my very first day at school. It's the truth. Nearly lost my little toe. Why? The lunch bell went and I thought it was time to go home. And no one got home till about 5 o'clock. So I was sitting on the front step with sleet, snow, rain. I was feeling a bit cold. And then I screamed about an hour later when my mum put my feet in cold water, which I thought at the time was boiling water. But when you get frostbite, if you've ever had it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
It's more like he stalks you, Awesome, because he loves you.
Who's that?
Melton.
Just falls into the category of irrelevance for me, even though I just took the piss out of him. Look, there's a lot of sad, lonely people. Well, we just went back to England, Buddy Boppy, and there are no Englishmen left.
But it wasn't snowing.
Just telling you the truth. Wasn't snowing. Weather has changed. It's warmer. No question about that. But there's millions of Meltons. Like I say, there's a huge difference between being alone. A lot of people actually like their own company. Quite happy. But there's a massive difference from being lonely. And those lonely people who get angry with their life come onto YouTube and get angry with you for no apparent reason other than they're pissed off. Buddy Bopper says Muhammad's. No, it's not an Islamic thing.
No,
it's a multicultural thing.
It was mixture when we were there.
Lots of Europeans,
yeah,
Lithuanians, Bulgarians. But no, I don't see creed either as a problem for me. I don't see gender or creed being a problem. It's your behaviour. It only can come to one thing. Your interpretation of someone's character based on not just today. How many guys have you seen or women walk into a room and say, like to Buddy Bopper, "Hey buddy, we just met but I really love you." What? What? Avoid them, buddy, whatever you can do. You don't formulate a powerful relationship with anyone unless it's over a period of time, quite an extensive period of time. You don't form an intimate relationship with someone in minutes.
Oh,
unless you're lonely.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Again, I say the big difference from being alone to being lonely.
I could say something, but I won't.
Austin's got to run. She's got to catch the same plane as MB.
Yeah, we'll be going shortly.
Off to Europe for the weekend, I guess Awesome is. Yeah, I understand. Yep, buddy, there's one thing that you and I probably have in common is that you believe that we all came from the same stuff and we're going to end up the same stuff. We are all part of something wonderful, whether you like it or not.
And having a sense of humour.
And like an apple or a pear on a tree, you pick it off, it looks perfect, but there's a few little daggy bits. Spot there, bit of spot there, that bit's fallen off, but it's still a pear. It's still the sum of its whole. Whether you call it God or whether you call it the Great Spirit, it's irrelevant because you have something in with you that believes that we're all part of something, which is more important than being alone, thinking that the world hates you. And so what you're going to do is open up a YouTube channel and drive people crazy because you're nuts and angry. Instead of probably turning off the internet, going down to a local centre, meeting people, talking in real life.
Yeah, but you're talking about Melton.
No, I'm talking about a load of people have a mission in life to make other lives misery.
Well, people don't have to watch Melton's videos if they don't want to. So while he's thinking that
I watched one.
That thousands of people are watching him on YouTube, he's leaving real people alone. He's not going out to the world and annoying someone in a cafe.
But he's made another good statement. You can't kill energy. No. You might be able to bend it on times. Like, you see a light wave bend. But it's still energy. There's good and bad, and there's indifferent.
Oh, you got your split peas, Sids.
Beautiful.
So we're going to see a video.
Make sure you make that hock just slowly simmer away for a couple of hours. Pull off the sloppy skin, save it for making crackling later. And then pull a bit of meat off, but put the bone back in, Sids. Remember to put the bone back in. And at the very last minute, you pull the bones out. Add the split peas. And Bob's your uncle. And even if he's not, I'll send him round here. I love yellow split pea soup, just called pea and ham. But we've got this indomitable energy within us that we can share. We really can. But it's not a commodity. It's not our energy is not monetized, is the best way to describe it on this format. It is to be freely given and nothing asked in return. And energy from us comes in many forms. It can be just thinking about somebody. It can be pushing good thoughts upon people. I don't believe there's such a thing as bad energy. I just think there's a lot of bad people.
Yeah, better. People can just turn him off than him being out in public.
I understand a lot of people can't get out, and that's why they're on social media, and that's a good thing. But it's when they twist and turn a series of events to make them something they're not, or they become pretentious and put a facade of who they are, and the lies unfold month after month. And unfortunately, some people get trapped within that system and enable them by thinking, well, they're still a good guy, even though they're doing some crazy stuff. And people give them money. But the most important thing that people give them is time. One thing you can get more of is money. One thing you cannot replace is time. Think of that next time you're in a room where people are just going crazy, and turn and look at the window and think, I'm going out to watch the dog on the lawn, because there's more energy out there than there is in a screen. Being angry is just futile. I don't mind people getting angry with me or calling me names, that's fine.
But sometimes you can feel people's energy even through a screen. Well, I can. If someone who's spiritual and has empathy, they'll know what I'm talking about.
I could answer all this psychology with you, buddy, about why that's the case with some people. It's very deep within their psyche. It can be triggered. There's an old saying that you would know, that is, where people burn books, they'll burn people. And a lot of these people, and I don't know the full story behind Jeffrey Dahmer, but I do know that when people at an early age hurt animals, like pin frogs to a wall or shoot birds or skin cats and do terrible things, they are likely to have very little feeling going into the full direction of hurting people. But you can't blame your parents for your behaviour. Circumstances can make it like demographic. In other words, you live in a bad neighbourhood, but you don't have to be a bad person in a bad neighbourhood, if you get what I'm saying. And the good prospect is that if you've got good thoughts, you'll probably leave the bad areas because of the bad influence.
Debbie said hello to you.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see. I don't get to see.
Debbie Dawson.
Hello, Debbie Dawson. How are you? Welcome to the chat. Donate down below. PayPal link, Streamlab link. What's the other one?
We need the money to go to US next
What's
year.
the other one? The cash thing down the bottom. What's that called?
Super Chat.
Super Chat. And of course, brown paper bags full of used 50s is accepted as well.
And Charlotte.
Yeah, there's a fine line between calling someone a sociopath and a psychopath, but there is a fine line. There is a difference. There's also a difference between a sociopath and just an arsehole. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you get what I'm saying by this. Sometimes people are just arseholes to women or misogynists. They're nice to guys. This is a guy being nasty to women. You see a few on YouTube, trust me. But they're not a sociopath. They're not a psychopath. They evidently just hate women for a reason. Generally it's because one of them's burnt them at one stage. Bad relationship, cheated on you. You see where I'm going with this? So there's this residue of energy left with that person to attack women, which is sad. So they're not sociopaths. They're normally drunks, by the way. Well, I worked with killers, and I can tell you, if I lined them up and I walked you past 10 of them, and there were 10 people that were just normal people like you and me, and I mixed them up, you'd never be able to pick the killer. I used to have coffee with one guy for about 4 or 5 years in the mornings when I worked in security. He was never to be released, by the way. But he this is going back to the 70s, when he was convicted of killing his wife and her lover. It would have been described today as a crime of passion. This guy did unbelievable things for the community, even within the prison. He would make things and someone would take them and auction them off and give them to orphanage as far as the funds raised. Paintings, same thing, different charities. He was normal, except he came home and saw his wife having sex with another man and shot them right away. Didn't wait a week and think about it, or a month.
He caught him.
Just shot them and killed them there and then. And that would be called today a crime of passion. You probably do 15 to 20 years, but he's never to be released based on the sentencing in the 70s. So, like I say, could you pick a killer? No. You would be shocked. Some of these look like they would be your favourite nana, and you think, oh, I'd leave the kids with her for sure. Big mistake. So deep in within this thing, there are some things that are unseated in people that can't be fixed. Like a narcissist cannot be fixed. All you can do is have them learn new behaviours. In other words, think of something else instead of going off narcissistically all the time. But the true narcissist can fool you, be nice to you, encompass you in their life, lead you down a path with them. All this time, they're using you. And when something goes wrong, it's your fault. That's a true narcissist. And then he will move on from you and flick you out of his life and find another victim. They perpetually go through life using people. But a killer can be a scale from down here to way up there. A lot of criminals that I knew over a period of time that had committed heinous crimes, but I'm not going to mention them, committed suicide eventually in prison. Very common. Because the one thing you can't escape, you can be picked up by the police and you can go to a court and you can be sentenced, but the only real judge, if you have a conscience, is being sat behind the walls for the rest of your life. And some people can't do that. So they end their life. I think we had, in the 7 years I was in the one prison, 9. Because they will give themselves the punishment society doesn't give them in my country, because we do not have the death penalty. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those emotive, instantaneous rage, buddy. And I'm sure it happens all around the world. Just that sentencing has changed. There was no such thing as a crime of passion in the 70s at all, even though it would have been brought up in court at the moment, the heat of the moment, but there was no such wording as crime of passion.
Yeah, true, Kathy, they do. Neighbours always say that of a killer. Oh, had no idea, he's such a nice guy. Because they never do within their close circle.
You did right. You couldn't pick them. You couldn't pick a rapist. You might even pick people that you would think are rapists in a line out, but they're a grocer or a librarian. So it's not the looks of a person that dictates their behaviour. It's their behaviour. Anyway, that's probably bored you to death by now. It's all your fault, buddy. But like I say, I worked with them, did therapy with them, and I can tell you in the end, there are 2 types of people that murder. One is through anger, and one is through psychopathic. In other words, they were going to be a killer. And if you let them out, they'll keep killing. That type of person is not able to function in society. Well, if they're in society, they're going to do what they're going to do, is what I'm saying.
Like what's his name, Malat, the killer of the backpackers. He would not have stopped if he hadn't have been caught, and if he was let out,
He'd
keep doing it. But he's actually, and I'm not sad, he's dying of something, isn't he? He can't die quick enough, actually.
Yeah, I mean, he was really crazy.
He was really brutal and...
Oh, I'm talking about Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, I don't know who Jeffrey Dahmer is. The name's familiar.
He would have sex with young men and cut them up and eat them.
Oh, yes, now I remember. Oh, yeah. Oh, where's he now? Where's he now, buddy?
I honestly would kill someone if they attacked my wife or my children or my grandchildren. And I'd go to jail. And I'd be in there next to that bloke who shot his wife and her lover, because I would do it in a passion of anger. So am I capable of that? Yep.
I missed what you just said. What did you say?
If someone harmed you or my children or my grandchildren, I would kill them. Ella, I just think he's lonely, dysfunctional. You're seeing a lot of these people like that. Like Bergs is a good example, just copying other people. Several different aspects of different people. Bergs will copy, Melton will do the same. They're not them, is what I'm saying. There's no originality in who they are. It's a facade. Doesn't make them a psychopath, doesn't make them a psychotic. It just makes them obviously lonely. And it's sad, but you've got to try and help yourself.
And drugs can affect people, or alcohol can affect people.
We had one prisoner who was definitely had mental health issues, but functioned every day. He was in for violence. And one of his roommates in a cell one night got a letter from his girlfriend saying, it's over and I don't want to do this and we're finished. And he said to this other guy who had mental health issues, I don't want to keep living. I have nothing to live for. So the other guy picked up a bedsheet, strangled him. He honestly thought he was just doing what the guy asked him to do. And I'm not lying to you. That was his thought process. Oh, poor bugger, I'll help him out. I'll kill him. I'm not making any of this up, by the way. It actually happened.
So somebody got him, buddy. Oh well. No great loss there, hey, for what he did.
A lot of the ones that commit heinous crimes take their own lives. Usually even before court sometimes. A lot of you may not read that, but we used to have court history in regards to those sort of things, as in to watch out for, particularly if people are in prison on remand, waiting sentencing, or to be released. They're at their most vulnerable there because their thoughts are just spinning. Not been sentenced, but they're in prison.
What's that psychologist's name that interviews really bad people?
Like the Iceman.
Yeah, what was that?
He wasn't. Yeah, no, he wasn't a psychologist.
Oh, what was he?
There was one that did interview him,
But
who
he
was a
was-
psychologist.
Well,
But I think the Iceman tapes was by someone that he was okay with, and they did the interview.
yeah, he was a psychologist. He was a German.
There was one, there was that one, but the one that
Yeah.
did a long book about him was
Very
not.
interesting when they get in and they will talk.
There's a fine line in life. Like I said, openly, in a public forum, if someone attacked my wife or my children or grandchildren, I would kill them. That's the fine line. Do I want to hurt people? No. But there's that fine line. If it's crossed,
Brush
I would.
them. Brush them good, Sids. Don't forget the back teeth. Sids is brushing her teeth while she's listening.
Suze is brushing her teeth. They're on the kitchen table and she's got a brush.
Anyway, I'm going to go inside in a minute.
I'm just kidding.
Hey,
Hello,
free birdie.
Why don't when free birdie comes into the room, I keep thinking like Eagle Rock. Well, you listen, down, 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 down. Free birdie's from the same generation I'm from.
Yeah, some people say stuff like that, and it's just like, where does
You
it come
could
from?
get the interpretation from that free. It could be, Ella, that his life's miserable, and he wants you to share it. And the way he expresses that is by saying what you just typed in the room. In other words, a lot of people have a miserable life and are in a lot of pain emotionally. The only way they can get any solace or satisfaction is to spread the pain. Like when someone's in a deep depressive hole, you reach down to help them. Whatever you do, for God's sake, don't go down in the hole with them. Offer to lift them up, and if they're not willing to come up, let them go. In other words, there's a thing called emotional currency, and that is when you invest time in people and then you find out that they're a fraud, a liar and a cheat and a scammer. Or you feel silly in a certain aspect. Sometimes you may go along with the facade for a little bit more, but eventually your conscience gets the better of you and you say enough is enough. How many times does that happen on YouTube? So don't invest emotional currency. There's two things to learn. There's sympathy and there's empathy. This one, keep in your back pocket. Empathy, give bucket loads of it away if you wish. You're being empathetic to their situation. You're not reaching down into that depressive hole and jumping down in with them, because that is a emotional bankruptcy that you're going to face. So don't, that's it, you got it. There's an old saying, misery's got loves company. You've got to realise the big difference, because you should be more guarded in your affection of people online, because you don't know them. You know nothing about them. You like what you see. It's like looking in a cake window and seeing a scone with cream and jam, and man, that looks good. I like that. But when you bite it, it's made out of sour cream. But visually, it looked good. But my point is, keep your emotional currency like your real currency, one in your emotional wallet and one in your real wallet, safely put aside till you really know somebody. And if I asked you this question, if I said, how many friends in real life do you have? I'd probably go 3 or 4. Out of my 60 years, you think surely you'd have more. Not really. And if you were honest, if you come up with 3 or 4, you're doing pretty good. But when you come on the internet, all of a sudden you have 5,000 friends. No, you don't. You really don't. But when you invest that emotional currency, you're committed. It's like when you go to a shop and you say, I want that blueberry ice cream in that sugar cone. Yum. The guy says $5. You give him $5. You taste it and it's awful. Can I have my money back? And he goes, no. It's like online. When you commit your emotional currency to someone, they're not going to give it you back. They expect more and more. And on YouTube, they don't only want your emotional currency, they want your real currency, which is, it's dangerous for you. And what I mean by that is that you feel a fool, you feel used and abused, just like as if it was in real life. But I have to be honest with you, if some of you have gone through that already, you don't need any lessons, because you're very wary now of overcommitting your emotional currency. It's a real thing, emotional currency, it's real. So you will be more circumspect, you'll be very discerning, you'll sit back and listen more, and you won't commit as much as you did when you first come onto social media. Because let's be honest, every one of us thought everyone you first met on the internet is going to be a good guy. I'm a good guy, so they're going to be a good guy. No. When someone can see a vulnerability in you, and it may be your money, more importantly, it can be your time. Like I said before, you can replace money. You can always earn more money. You just cannot get back time. So, like I say, the one words of wisdom I always pass on to people is that if you are going to spend time with people, make sure that it's for the right reasons, for your reasons. So what am I saying? Be a little bit selfish about how you present yourself in certain rooms? Absolutely. You look after yourself first, because you're no good if you can't take care of yourself. You have no way of taking care of anyone else.
I'm gonna put my phone on the charger. About to die.
I see Freebirdy and I like her a very lot. Because those other words are very precious to me. That's me as an individual, my opinion, my perspective. I use those words wisely. But emotional currency, it is wasted frivolously every day on YouTube. Particularly when people are lonely and they want to have friendship and someone can see that and they use it up. Sometimes they take money off them, and then they make them, very important in that room. Like saying words like, free birdies in the room. Oh, she's an international celebrity, free birdie. Everybody loves you, free birdie. You're a wonderful person, free. When I'm in your area, I'll come and visit you, free. Sorry, but you see where I'm going with this. I'm pissing in your pocket. Because then you'll think more of me. Seeds is such a great guy. Because he mentions my name. And says how lovely I am.
Yep, yeah, well, that's right. Have fun.
So I'm only here to have fun. I love learning new things. I like to hear people talk about their lives in regards to what they do. And that's about it. I'm not going to give people money. I'm not going to give people time that I feel that both are being wasted. Because it's important to me, time above everything else. We can waste an hour down the beach lying, eyes closed, sun beaming down, feeling wonderful. And that doesn't cost you a damn thing.
Yeah, but we do that. It's like we enjoy coming on here and talking to people.
Yeah.
But my phone's gonna die in a minute.
Yeah, so I'm not here to be a soothsayer. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm certainly not here to influence you or ask for your money. If you want to spend time with me, thank you.
Yeah.
There's your payment. Thank you. And I thank you for being here, because it's more important that we interact on a level of discussion without domination or demands or expectations. And unfortunately, I see a lot of that in a lot of rooms, and a lot of misleading information. We've got to be honest here.
Well, we try to spread positivity, buddy. And yeah, I say the love word more than Seeds does, but that's me. But
I don't, like I say, I find that a very high emotional currency, the word LOVE. So I will use that very discerningly. Not to be mean. It's often used frivolously. That's my opinion. Because it's a commitment then. Where do you go after you say that to someone? How can you top it? How can you top that? Say in 10 years' time, Ella's saying that to someone else, and then what do you say? You can't. What I'm saying is that's the ultimatum of commitment to somebody, is to use those words. And this is just my opinion. You can say it as much as you like, not being angry with you, but it's like the ultimate commitment in regards to either friendship or relationship or your kids or your grandkids. So that's why I treasure that word very closely.
And I say there's such different degrees of love. You can love things differently. Like I love a lot more animals than I love a lot more people.
I'll explain it a bit easier. Like you can't be a little bit pregnant.
Yeah, well,
do you get what I'm saying here?
There's different degrees of
You can't be
love.
like, I'm just tiny little bit pregnant. Just a wee little bit pregnant. No, you're either pregnant or you're not.
I'm with,
yeah, I mean, it's a word used often. It's more, look, I see most of the time, Ella, I see it as people greeting each other. Do you know what I mean? It's a greeting. Like hello.
I'm like hello.
It's more like a hello than I really do, LOVU. It's a hello, I like you, I like to be in your company, it's good to be with you online.
But you use the word love in so many different... I love chocolate,
Yes.
And I don't use the word hate often, but I hate anchovies. That's one time I will use that word.
Oops, I've given Buddy Bob a refreshment on one of his nightmares. I do apologise. But it's a real big commitment for me, because I value, and that might, I'm not putting you down, any of you, but I value it very highly. It's like if I had a little jewel in a little tiny case next to mine, and I keep it there all the time because someone very precious gave it to me. I would even tell you about it because it's important for me to know about it, but not you. But it's not for me to either demand or ask you to stop saying it, because it's like I say, most of you, I see you use it as a greeting. Like, hi, here you go, groovy baby.
There's just 3 things in life that should be rich, Ella. That's men, chocolate and coffee.
Right.
Oh, I've got to go. My battery's
We are
gone.
going to go. I'm sure someone... Actually, Free, I was going to suggest to you, because you're very popular and people do like you, why don't you do the odd hangout? I'm not demanding it. I'm just suggesting people would come and talk to you. I will actually have people on a hangout when we get into this building stage and have an office and an area we can do it properly with a new computer. But I think people would come and chat with you Free. You're very level-headed and logic, and you care about people. So that's why a lot of people would come and see you. If you, I'm going to show you a little trick here, Free. I'm Free Birdie. Groovy guys, how you going? All right? Yeah. Oh, someone doesn't like me. Hang on a sec. Oh, the block button permanently removed. I never see them again. You don't have anyone that hates you when you use this finger.
I got to turn my phone off.
I would just do it. Sometimes I toy with them for a little while, particularly when they're inept, and use words bigger than 5 letters.
Well,
I'm not used to it, so I can tear verbal shreds off them before I diminish them.
Well, I love yous all. I got to go and put my phone on.
There we go. Official goodbyes.
Pay yous all a kiss. Have a good sleep, day, afternoon, whatever it is you're doing. Go and say it.
And I really like you guys, but don't push it. All right? I'm just saying. Anyway, if you did open a room Free one day, I would certainly attend. And on that note...
That face is a bit scary that you just did.
What, this one?
Yeah. Just give Ella her knees before you go.
All right. Ella. Just touch me in the morning, baby. Have a great day, wherever you are.